It's week 1 of the National Football League, and it's presented by EA Sports. It's the Raiders and the Steelers, and it comes your way next on Madden NFL 23.
EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the world steel capital in the city of Bridges, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, and Acrisure Stadium. Today, it's the opener of a new NFL season between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Pittsburgh Steelers. With my good friend Charles Davis in the booth, I'm Brandon Gaudin, and the moment has finally arrived, CD. It's time to begin a new NFL season.
Partner, there's no hiding my excitement as I got ready this morning. I could not wait to get here for this game. Imagine what it's like out there on the field for those players, though. OTAs, training camp, preseason has all led to this moment when they officially kick this one off to get the season underway.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. Out of his end zone, here comes Jalen Reagor. So here comes the Raider offense now onto the field. They'll be led out by the veteran quarterback out of Michigan State. The former Spartan, it's Kirk Cousins.
And one nice thing you can always say about Kirk Cousins is that he's consistent. Always puts up nice numbers each and every year. If there is a downside to his game, it's been the lack of playoff success. All in all, though, a formidable starting quarterback at a time in the league where it's tough to find your franchise guy.
Just like that, it's a gain of 12 and a first down on their first play. Again, it's Taylor. And he'll work this one out to about the 38. Tackle made by Devin Lloyd, the linebacker. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Running straight ahead, Taylor. Oh, he's got a little daylight. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35. 45 yards rushing for him now. What a drive for him to kick off the new season. With that last carry, he's now over 8,000 career rushing yards.
All right, big applause. Lots of clapping for this one, right? Think about it this way. Along the way, he has passed Hall of Famer Terrell Davis, and now he's starting to approach another Hall of Famer in Larry Zonka.
And he'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Add the gain here to the previous play, and it's better than 40 yards total. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
Antoine Winfield up from the secondary with a tackle. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. They give to Taylor out of the gun. And so close, he gets it to the 1. Out of bounds right there. It's a really nice 15-yard pickup, and now it's 1st and goal. They've taken this opening kickoff and marched it right down the field defensively. Not much resistance.
And that's the point, because my admiration is for the guys moving the ball right now. They know what they're doing. They're playing.
And he's in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jonathan Taylor punching it in from a yard away. And the Raiders are on the board here first in the season opener. Now for the point after. And he's 1 for 1 on the new year as his kick is good. So that drives 7 plays in length. And it was capped off by a Jonathan Taylor touchdown. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And this will not be brought out. It's a touchback. So here are the Steelers now to take over for the first time. They're led onto the field by their quarterback, a man who's made quite the name for himself in the NFL, and that's Russell Wilson.
And I think that even after a decade in the NFL, he doesn't get enough credit for not just his consistency, but his brilliant play and leadership as well. He's won a Super Bowl in Seattle. He's led his team to another Super Bowl opportunity also in Seattle. His numbers are always terrific, almost always in the Pro Bowl, and all his team does is win. This guy's a natural leader.
They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Here's Wilson. His throw incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test him early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. Wilson. And down he goes. Brought down a Raider sack. The corner blitz gets there as he goes down for a loss of 7.
So that time, Charles, quarterback helpless really in the pocket in the face of a pass rush like that. They were on him instantly.
And what a great call defensively there, because they decided to bring pressure off the corner. And a lot of times, those big linemen, they can't account for the speed of a defensive back. And that time, he made a beeline right for the quarterback and got him. The cat blitz, tough to defend.
Yeah, the next-gen stat's going to illustrate just how quickly a quarterback has to process everything, as he was on the ground in under 3 seconds, 2.9 to be precise. A carry by Taylor to start the drive.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a first down. One thing's for sure, this defense has to figure out how to stop the ground game. He's eating him up here in the first quarter.
It looks like they have to go to different forces, aren't they? The conventional things aren't working too well. So I remember a coach of mine saying way back when a back's having a great game, you've got to get the ball out of his hands. See how far he can run without the ball. And what he meant was takeaways, knock it loose, because maybe you can't just stop him with just regular tackling.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
They run once more with Taylor.
5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
Oh, that was a thing of beauty right there. Look at how quick those blockers fired off the line once the ball was snapped. That was an O-line on a mission, all in sync, and the defense is lucky that play only picked up 5 yards.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. They need to get this to the 24 on 3rd down. Cousins. And this one is incomplete. Yeah, too long portion, but maybe circle this play, because if they get the stop and hold them to a field goal here, that's a pretty good job. They're already down on the scoreboard.
A stop now would be vital for them, because it could save them from having to do it multiple times later in the game in order to either get back into it or maybe have a chance to win.
Maybe a little fortunate there. That was leaking a little, maybe leaking a lot, but he got it.
Yeah, he actually was able to make it work. How about the body language, though, right? As he's watching that ball leak to the right, trying to bring it back in, and had just enough to get it done.
So after the made field goal, 10-0 here early as the kick's away. And this will be a touchback, so they'll bring it out to the 25.
So Pittsburgh retakes the field for their second offensive possession. They'll look to get something started. They need to, down 10-0 early, as they've got it 1st and 10. Wilson
finds his man over the middle. It's Likely.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. A quick first down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
can almost hear the sigh of relief coming from their sideline and from their point on the field because this has been a tough start for them thus far. A much-needed first down there. They needed something good to happen. Plays like that will continue to help them dig out of this hole.
A first carry now. This is Williams.
And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
And that was a quality play to start a new set of downs. That was simply an offensive line winning the battle up front and winning it a big way and giving their guy in the backfield a nice lane to hit.
Wilson's throw going into the hands of Williams.
And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. First catch of the new season for him, and he picks up the first.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that.
Blitz coming, and down he goes.
Chad Muma fighting all the way through and getting the sack.
Well, that's the second time he's been sacked so far in the first half, and if they have designs on having a big year, on going anywhere, they've got to find a way to keep him upright so he can throw the football.
Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. To throw is Wilson. Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Sauce Gardner picks it off.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Boy, this defense is circling early. A pick 6 there, and they are off to the races here this first quarter.
And, partner, when you get off to a first-quarter lead like this, it really frees you up defensively to take some chances, really apply some heat. And that was just a tremendous play to pick that ball off and bring it back for a score.
Coup for the extra point.
He's got it, and it's 17-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
So an early advantage now, and a good one. 17-0 our score as they kick this one away. And this will not be returned. It's a touchback, and they'll begin at the 25.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
They find themselves in a good-size hole here, and a good-size hole early on in this game as they come up on first down.
They start the drive on the ground. It's Williams. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26.
Oh, there's plenty of traffic waiting for him up the middle. But give him credit, he tried barreling through anyway. They're fortunate to get a yard out of that one.
The run only got a yard. Here's 2nd and 9. Here's Wilson. Quick hitter here. It's complete. And that's good for a gain of 6. And this will wind up being a 3rd and 3.
Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And the Raiders pick it up. And he's going to return it to the 21-yard line. And a defensive-minded coach loves to turn up the heat, turns it up there, it pays off.
And back in the good old days, those defensive-minded coaches just talked about intimidating teams, using force, right, beating them to the punch. In this case, they're talking about creating turnovers. That's all they preach, all game long, all practice long, every meeting. Get the football. That's what they want.
1st and 10, Taylor now.
And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. 2nd and right at a yard. They're making a real first-quarter statement with a run game, no doubt.
For those who remember old-school football, running it, establishing things, seeing backs find holes, get through them, they've got to like what they're seeing from this unit so far. Right now, they've decided to, as you said, establish the run game, and they've been successful doing it.
And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. 17-0 our score after 1.
The Raiders with the football here to begin quarter number 2 as they go to work on a 1st and goal. They'll run here with Taylor. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. That's going to go as a loss of 1 on 1st down. 2nd and goal from the 6 this time. They go to the ground again with Taylor. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Call it no gain that time, and now it's 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
And the hole closes quickly here. He can fight only to about the 4. Field goal coming from Younghoe Koo. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Koo knocks this one through the post, and that will extend their lead even further. So they get the turnover in plus territory. The drive stalls out, but still able to get 3 out of that.
Yeah, we were able to see an offense and a defense kind of mix and match with each other, didn't we? Both of them trying to make sure that they had the upper hand and the advantage. Offense trying to get to the end zone. Defense, of course, trying to hold them to a field goal attempt. And it wasn't a guaranteed lock 3 from where they started. So, you know, their offense has to be happy to come away with those 3 points.
And he'll just sit on this one as their drive will start at the 25. Now the Steelers offense gets ready to get back onto the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. So that now 4 first-half sacks. This pass rush has been unrelenting.
And, partner, you hear that sound of paper being ripped to shreds? That's a game plan that they've had so far because they've got to say to themselves right now, we have to do something differently.
And he'll lose yardage on this one back to the 13. So they'll wind up losing 7 on the play. And they're going to be staring at a 3rd and long here.
When you lose that kind of yardage on a pass play, you often expect it to be a sack. But that wasn't the case there. They completed the pass. Probably would have been better off just dropping the football and making an incompletion as opposed to catching it and losing that kind of yardage.
Buried behind the line by Azeez Ojulari. Well, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
The Steelers send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out quickly, and this is not a bad kick here. Now Osborne to return it. That'll be a 49-yard punt, 6 yards there on the return. And it'll be Raiders football 1st and 10. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
2nd down, another run with Taylor. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't it?
And firing a deep ball for Kmet. And he bats it away, and it falls down incomplete.
Early on, the running game's been working well, and the offensive line has been pleased by that. The thought process there, catch those safeties creeping up, trying to help against the running game. They tried to hit them over the top, unsuccessfully.
This is going to carry well into the end zone for a touchback. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And we don't want to call this desperation time, especially in the second quarter, but you're down.
You don't want to.
No, but let me finish.
Okay, my bad.
You're down 3 scores already. You've done nothing offensively, nothing on the scoreboard. That's not a good combination.
I think you just called it desperation time. I think
did.
you did. But let's face it, you mentioned this to me in a break earlier in the game.
He rifles one that's intercepted.
Kyle Hamilton picks it.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
An excellent play there, CD, on the pick six. And I think were they a nickel? Did they have an extra DB out there?
Yeah, Brandon, I think they were in standard nickel, not the Buffalo, as teams like to call it, meaning 3 safeties for big nickel. They just wanted to take away the quarterback's throwing lanes, and that's exactly what they did, and came through with a big-time pick six.
Koo able to connect on the extra point, and a rout is on here in this first half. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six, and now the kick is away.
And it'll come out to the 25 as he will not attempt to return. And the Steelers getting set and ready for their next possession. Now remember, they were just out here a moment ago through the pick six, so we'll see if they can take better care of the football this go around.
Yeah, and sometimes, partner, I think it's almost better that you just throw the pick six and you come right back out on the field. You're not over on the sidelines dwelling for it for very long. You're not hearing everyone say, oh, hey, you'll get them next time. Hey, don't worry about it. All that stuff just goes right out the window. You're right back out on the field with a chance to atone.
Wilson getting right back to it after the pick six.
Flushed out right. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
I tell you, Brandon, this defense is playing with some confidence. Haven't allowed a point yet. Flying to the football. I'm telling you, it's almost 11 to the ball on every snap. Another nice job there to force an incompletion.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25. Throwing is Wilson. And his throw is incomplete.
Lots of incompletions on 1st and 2nd down. It certainly seems like a reflection of what we've seen so far in this game. The defense, quicker to the punch so far. Let's see if they can get something going here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, Wilson.
Crossing route, he finds Likely. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
They suspected that it was a power play up the middle coming at them, and boy, were they right. That defense got downhill in a hurry and limited them to just a couple on 1st down.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Wilson to throw.
Complete to Likely.
And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 44-yard line. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler 1st.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This 1st half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
On 1st down, Wilson. And he'll get this into the hands of Braxton Berrios.
And he'll be hauled down at about the 30-yard line.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now it's Wilson. It won't be a sack, but it's no gain, and it brings up 2nd down.
Well, I can spin this negatively as he just got back to the line of scrimmage. But when you really analyze it, he took away a big play for the defense, made it an uneventful run because he avoided a sack and didn't lose yardage.
Throwing again on 2nd down. Wilson. Throw to the right, taken in by Berrios. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3.
One thing you're hoping for when you run drag routes, you're able to hit a receiver in stride, and he can pick up a lot of yardage after the catch. But in this situation, the defense was effective, able to stop him before he could get a good head of steam going.
And he will have a Steelers first down, I do believe. Yes, he's got it by about a yard there on 3rd and 3. And we've hit the 2-minute mark in this first half of action.
First and 10 at the 19-yard line.
So here's a 1st and 10 now, down inside the 20. Now Wilson. Sideline throw, it's complete. And a nice job there of keeping the toes inbounds. They'll go for a gain of 7, and it's 2nd down.
Let's make this one simple. What a catch, especially the finishing part of getting his feet in bounds, toe tapping, and of course, foot dragging.
Little tapestry, if you will.
Oh, I like it.
Now a 2nd down throw for the end zone, but it's incomplete.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
From the shotgun, Wilson. And Wilson's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off by Greg Newsome. He's at the 40, past the 20. And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score. I cannot imagine a more perfect half of football for one side, CD, and a more disastrous half of football for another side. But if you focus on the positive half, with this pick 6, you look at where that lead is at, and to think that we are only in the 2nd quarter. My goodness.
I love the expression, my goodness indeed. Pretty obvious. It's a free fall out there. Everybody gets a chance to make a play. And if you're on the field, you've got a great chance of being the next guy that your teammates are celebrating.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And they'll put up the stop sign there as his guys will get it at the 25. The Steelers ready to take over on offense. They are looking to make a bit of a 180. They are sputtering right now.
And frankly, I think it's time to call your playmakers together and say, all right, guys, we're going to lean on you through this patch. We need you to get us back on track and get us going in the right direction. So you're calling plays geared to them. Not necessarily that you look at your plays, oh, this hurts the defense. I want the ball in the hands of X, Y, and Z and see if we can move forward.
So don't get too cute. Go to the playmakers. So following the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 25. Now Wilson. Nothing open downfield, so he'll throw it away.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
On 3rd down, here's Williams. And he gets this one just shy of the 40, down at the 39. Now you've got to hustle your guys to the line and get them set. Now Wilson. And oh, he coughed it up. And the Raiders pick it up. They find some open field here. He's still on his feet. And he's into the end zone. It's a fumble return for 6 and a Raider touchdown. Well, Charles, I mean, things just seem to be getting worse and worse for one sideline. Or flip it over after that fumble return for a touchdown. Better and better on the opposite end. What an impressive first half performance.
And partner, I know the saying in the NFL goes that no lead is safe. But I will say that this one seems pretty secure. And if we continue to see plays like that, I'm going to switch back and say this lead is safe.
And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. And this will not be returned. It'll come out to the 25. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And Charles, we'll see what they can do here. Not a ton of time left, but enough certainly to get drive, and they need him right now because they're trailing.
Yeah, this is exactly why you practice a 2-minute drill all through camp and at least one practice each week before a game. A minute left, more than enough time to string a few completions together, reach the end zone, and then make that walk back to the locker room just a little more animated.
And he spins past him and into space. Now the Steelers use the first of their 3 timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. They'll throw on first down with Wilson, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. Now another timeout called for by the offense as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. Sacks, a growing theme in this first half. This is 2nd and long. Another try after the first down sack. Wilson. That is caught. It's Williams.
And he has a big gain inside the 40 before being dropped.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10.
And he'll be taken down here just shy of the 30.
I know the halftime's approaching, but I don't think he's going to want to take a break. That's his 5th catch.
Yeah, they've really been targeting the tight end. Now a timeout signaled for, and they'll get it with 10 seconds to go before halftime. So on 2nd down, the field goal unit is on here as they try to get 3 before half. And now a timeout defensively after that first down play. So they're going to make this offense sweat out half number 1. Now a field goal forthcoming for the Steelers. From the right hash, this from 48. And this one is right down the middle. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. Well, the good news, at least they won't take that goose egg into the locker room. Maybe a little something to build on.
Yeah, it hasn't been the greatest of first halves for them, has it? But at least now, as you mentioned, they put some points on the board. And it's been funny in our experience watching games. Sometimes something as little as a field goal can change the fortunes of a team, and they could come out and look real sharp in the second half.
So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. The final second ticks by, and that's going to do it for the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here on opening weekend. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. And welcome back to football, everybody. We've got a full slate of 16 games here to start the new season. So let's take our first trip around the NFL. We'll start over at Raymond James Stadium in Tampa. And it's the Buccaneers who are out in front. Justin Jefferson, over 100 yards receiving and a touchdown catch as well. We'll stay in the NFC South as we head over to the Big Easy. Check on the Saints at home at the Superdome. And they currently trail the visiting Philadelphia Eagles. Desmond Ridder has thrown a touchdown pass. Lastly, it
looks like we'll have to wait another week to get our first halftime report of the season as we move right along to the second half. All right, Coach, thank you very much as we welcome you back for quarter number 3.
We'll see if week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half.
And he will not bring it out. It's a touchback.
Russell Wilson now gears up to lead the offense again. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
The run there on first down gets him a yard to the 26. This defense just continues to bottle up that ground game. And look, I mean, the deficit right now for this offense is so big that it might not matter. But you're still in the third quarter. They're probably going to have to try things through the air, Charles.
I agree with you totally. That's what they'll have to do. They do need to run it occasionally to take a few hits off the quarterback, because right now, you just know those pass rushers are fired up to get after him.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I'm sure it was a tough halftime trying to figure out some strategy to get things going, trailing by a lot when they went into the locker room. He's just trying every avenue to spark his team here to begin the third quarter. Not a lot going on that play, though.
Wilson. He sets to fire deep. And that's caught inside the 35. And he's going to be taken down at about the 33.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
And not much running room. Down to the 32. They follow up that gigantic gain with the tiniest of pickups, 1 yard. We're just looking at the scoreboard and where we're at in the third quarter. I don't know that it's going to matter much at this point, CD, but these small runs on the ground, they're not going to get it done.
No, they're not. And right now, the guys stopping the run have been superior in this ball game, giving them no openings, no seams, and now they've got this game well in hand.
It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
This defense is just flat getting after it. They have not given up much of anything in the run game. Case in point right there.
A third down now. Those last 2 plays indicative of how things have gone for them. Just nowhere to go on the ground and struggling to put up points. Over the middle, he gets it to Barrios. And they will rally and stop him short of the first down. They get him to the ground at the 26. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that's going to make it fourth down. So on fourth down here, Mike Tomlin says, let's just get 3. He hit his first. Now this from 43. And this one is right through. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And he'll get it up past the 20 to about the 22. So here comes the Raiders offense getting ready for their first possession of the second half. They'll run with Taylor to begin the drive. Now, during that run, an injury here. We got one of those big blockers in some discomfort. While the medical staff checks on him, we'll step aside in this Week 1 contest. Second down, another run with Taylor. And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. 143 yards for him on the ground now, as he has been terrific here this afternoon.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time and making it work.
They run on first down as they get about 3. 2nd and 7 forthcoming.
Not a huge carry there on first down, but not all of them will be. But still, all in all, a positive play for the offense. It's all about picking up at least a few to set up what you're going to do here on second down.
On second down, it's Taylor. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled.
And he continues to pile up the yardage. That puts him over $150 now. And this defense has really had its problems trying to keep him contained.
Altogether, a pretty shaky start to the year for this defense as they defend another 1st and 10. And he stopped immediately there. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Up the middle, here's Taylor. And he's down right around midfield after a gain of 2, maybe 3.
Ladies and gentlemen, that is a force of nature at the defensive tackle position. Yes, he's as big as they come, but still plenty agile. He's able to make a nice play there to swallow up the ball carrier.
Cousins now from the 50. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
That's a good piece of quarterbacking right there because he certainly felt the pressure coming. The alternative, getting sacked for the first time. He didn't like that option at all. Did a nice job saving yardage by throwing that one away.
And here now the punter Fox as he sends this one away.
That'll be out of bounds, and how good was that? They'll say the 3-yard line. That's where they spot it.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb. They'll try to get this running game going with Williams. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
I see a shake of the head as he gets up, and you've got to imagine he's thinking, guys, you got to help me out. He's hoping his team can read his thoughts because he definitely needs some assistance.
Williams going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he will double the space they have to work with as they take it from the 2 to the 4.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they can use something here on 3rd down. They run it again with Williams.
And he'll work free from 1 tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down.
Calling a gain of 4, but not enough. The punt team going to need to be summoned here on 4th down.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized. The Steelers send out their punter now as he'll come on to kick this one away.
Oh, the return is Osborne.
That's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Raiders will take over now 1st and 10.
The Vegas offense ready for their next possession. No points last time out. They were forced to punt, if you remember, but no time to dwell on that. They've still got the lead here and a chance to add to that here. 1st and 10 as this new drive starts.
It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up 2nd down. On the handoff, this is Taylor. And he's taken down at the 50 after a short gain of 2.
Let's give a lot of credit to the offensive line. They've been able to move the ball really well on the ground the entire game. And while that wasn't a huge one, that's okay. They'll take them in short, steady bursts.
Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked by Antoine Winfield Jr. And the Steelers are going to have great field position here as this is returned just shy of midfield. Well, with the size of lead that this offense has, I don't think that interception is really going to affect them much. But at least for this defense, something small to hang their hat on.
Yeah, and let's face it, they're not even scoreboard watching anymore, right? They're just trying their best to make a play, get themselves off the field, which they just did, and salvage a little bit of pride in this one.
They take a shot downfield there, but it winds up falling incomplete.
What we've seen so far in this game, they are not going to allow a big shot over the top. You can have whatever you want underneath. They'll give you that, but they're not going to let you beat them deep.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Wilson, and a little floater there is incomplete.
Well, so far in this drive, they've done some good work. They forced incompletions on 1st and 2nd down, bring up 3rd and 10. That brings up the big question. Do they bring pressure, or do they play coverage on this down?
From the gun on 3rd down, Wilson. And he comes back with one complete.
And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
There's a nice pickup right there, and after watching that play, I'm thinking about all the lost opportunities that they've had so far in this game. But right now, just focus on continuing to move the ball the way they did on the last play.
Now Wilson on 1st down.
He'll find Williams on the slant.
And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh.
This opening game has certainly not gone their way to this point, but yeah, that touchdown, maybe a glimmer of hope for the long season ahead.
And no one in this league likes to talk about moral victories. No one likes to really just say, okay, well, maybe something went right. But you're exactly right about that. A little glimmer there. Maybe they can carry it over moving forward.
Point after, right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down a bit to 28. Here's the Steelers kick team as they'll boot this one away. This one fielded at the 5. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Here's Las Vegas ready to take the field. Still comfortably on top, third quarter, as they start things here with a 1st and 10. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Throwing is Cousins. He finds Taylor, complete. And he gets this one just shy of the 40. They'll mark him down at the 39. That one good for 13 and a Raider first down.
I'll tell you what, a lot of those mid-range throws have been available because sometimes teams get too concerned about the deep ball and they leave too much space in front of them.
Back now in Pittsburgh. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. Now a handoff. Taylor with it. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. Defensively, Sam Hubbard, the former Buckeye, there to stop him. Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
They're going to snuff this play out behind the line. We have not seen that much today. This offense so far on 3rd down, a pretty woeful 0 for 5 thus far. This is 3rd and 7.
Again, it's Taylor. And some good acceleration there as he's across midfield to the 48-yard line. Boy, 179 yards rushing for him now as he has been tremendous all day long.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Running straight ahead, Taylor.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line.
Now it looks like we're going to get a stoppage here. An injured Steeler on that last play.
Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss.
On the handoff, Taylor.
And they'll get him down here at about the 42. That was play number 7 on this drive, and it got him 7 yards.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the 4th quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down 4th quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
Now here's a pass on 1st down that's knocked away and incomplete.
He didn't just deny a big throw there. He broke that one up in the red zone. An excellent play, one that may help save points on the board when this drive is over.
Now a give to Taylor. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And some room to work.
And a hard-working run here as he's got it inside the 20, down to the 17.
14 yards is the pickup there at a Raider first.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a 1st down, he's the guy they turn to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Just a yard on the 1st down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
They run with Taylor. A gain of 2 there on the heels of a 1-yard pickup on first.
In order to play really good run defense when you're playing a 3-4, those 3 guys up front, the nose tackle and the guys they call the defensive ends, they're usually big people because they're going to have to eat up a lot of blockers because it's usually 5-on-3. And when they do their job well, guys who play on the inside, those inside linebackers.
And he is in. Touchdown, Raiders. Jonathan Taylor, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Raiders are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point by Koo, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. Following the touchdown, here's Koo to kick off. And there will not be a return here. It's a touchback, and it'll come out to the 25-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And whatever promise they showed in the preseason has not translated into week 1 because they have not been particularly competitive here at home, no less. So these fans just kind of beside themselves right now. On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And a quick throw here, that's complete. He'll be dropped after a gain of about 6 across the 30 to the 31. They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31. To throw is Wilson. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Now we get a stoppage because a member of the Raiders shaken up on that one. Well, you always hate to see injuries, especially tough here in week 1. Just hoping this is nothing serious. We'll take a quick timeout. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Here's Wilson. And this one too low.
And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. To throw again is Wilson. Pass incomplete, but the flag in the backfield, and this might be a roughing call.
Personal foul, roughing the passer, defense.
Okay, so roughing the passer, and I've got to imagine that's the last thing you want to see week 1 is your quarterback taking an unnecessary hit.
I think you're exactly right about that. You hate it any week, but boy, are you on target. This is, you know, just depending on him to take him through 17 games, so you definitely can't let him get hurt right now.
One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
Throwing again on 2nd down, but this time it's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
Wilson will throw again. Finds his man over the middle. It's Likely. And he's going to have another 1st down as the tackle comes at the Raiders' 24-yard line. Wilson. No hesitation, goes right back to Likely. And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Here's a 1st and 10 at the 14-yard line. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. This is caught. And they corral him just a couple yards shy of the end zone. Back-to-back nice plays, 12 yards that time and a 1st down. Well, I mean, look, obviously there's no 20 or 30-point play in that playbook, but they can try to end things here on a positive note despite trailing big, and that looks like what they're trying to do here by pushing the ball downfield.
Well, let me go with the heavy cliche then, partner. Just control what you can control right now, and all they can control here is how their final plays develop. There's no question that coming into this game, this defense was pretty vocal about its desire to take this running back out of his game, and all that pregame wolfing has turned into results.
So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset.
They've got it 2nd and goal as they look for a late touchdown. Second down and goal. Wilson. And he's left with no option here but to throw it away.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
This Raider defense not giving in. They'll try to hold once more on 3rd and goal. Here's Wilson to throw. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Picked up by Javon Holland.
And he takes this one back into the end zone, and the Raider defense delivers a score.
Well, what has been a fantastic game for this defense has been rough for this offense, and certainly a signal caller, Charles, that's thrown all these interceptions. Another one there, and this one taken all the way back for the score.
Partner hoping to hold a nice little spot in the post-game highlights to show this rip of interceptions and great plays this group has made. They've been on it from snap one.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away.
The return man down to a knee, and this will come out to the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense set to regain possession. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You would have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally, I think a lot of the guys are already starting to think about, okay, how do we put this behind us and get better for the next time out? This, they'll use as motivation for the rest of the time that they play to hopefully never be in this type of situation again.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
Wilson now to throw on 3rd down. He's going to let it fly. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
This is brought in at the 21. 44-yard punt, return of 9. And out will come the offense as they take over. And now here come the Raiders.
And this has been quite a performance to kick off the new year on the road, no less, as they try to finish things off here in the 4th quarter.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Throwing here, Cousins.
He'll get that complete to his tight end, Cole Kmet.
The Raiders going to use one of their timeouts. It's just their first. They've got 2 more to use here in the final stages. Here's Cousins.
And again, back to Kmet.
Now another timeout called for by the offense. That'll leave them with just 1 remaining in this 4th quarter of play. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on 1st down. Play action now. Cousins sliding out of the pocket.
And that one off the mark behind him, incomplete. At this juncture, CD, you normally see teams pack in the passing game. They've got the huge lead. Not them, though. They're still taking their shots.
I remember reading in past history, there was a college football coach in the Hall of Fame whose nickname was Close the Gates of Mercy. But he wasn't really big on that. He was big on going ahead and scoring. He's kind of reincarnated right here. We're watching it in front of us.
A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete.
Partner, in the sportsmanship handbook, there's something to be said for calling the dogs off in a blowout. But these defenders, they also know this is the NFL, and it's their job to stop them, whether they're in the game or they're down by a handful of touchdowns.
On 3rd down, Cousins. He's going to fire this thing deep right sideline.
And oh no, it's incomplete. Well, it's a touchdown if he holds on, but somehow took his eyes off of it, falls to the ground, and brings up 4th down.
They'll run for it. It's Taylor going absolutely nowhere. He'll wind up losing a yard or two. The Raiders try it on 4th down, but to no avail. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. On 1st down, Wilson. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And he knocks the ball away, and it falls incomplete.
Even with such a big lead late, the effort hasn't lapsed one bit. If the offense wants to score some points in this one, they're going to have to earn it. These guys are not giving up anything.
On target to his man, Likely. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Well, CD, always a little extra excitement for Week 1, and one of our early window games here in Week 1 on a Sunday comes to a close. Good to be back in the booth with you, my friend.
And it's good to be back in the booth with you as well. And we know that not everyone's going to start the season 1-0, right? Half the league is going to have a loss on their record, but everyone's going to have to build off of that opener. And how many coaches tell us every single year, you make your most progress between Week 1 and Week 2. We'll see how both of these teams progress the rest of this season.
So for Las Vegas,
it's a fantastic start as they roll to a blowout victory here in the season opener. And another road date awaits them next week as their opponents will be the Los Angeles Chargers. Meanwhile, for Pittsburgh, they go down to defeat here in the opener. And they'll get a home date next week against the Kansas City Chiefs.